Hello and good morning. Camille here from the Face Yoga Method team and your host for this week's Face Yoga Summit. I want to know, can you hear me? Can you see me? Let's get all of this technical out of the way so just to make sure that you can hear me and see me and everything is working well. Amazing. Good morning from Canada, Jill. Stine from Norway. Hello from Norway. Hello. Yvonne from Curacao. Beautiful. Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the Face Yoga Summit. We are so excited for all of the responses we've gotten from day 1 and all of the sessions that we shared in day 1. Let me know inside of the chat. I want to make sure that you know how to use the chat. This is the primary way of getting in touch with me, the team, and the presenters. Just let me know in the chat, what was your favorite session from day 1? If you were able to come to any of them, just let me know what was your favorite session. And just as a reminder, this chat will remain open for the whole summit. It is a space where you're able to connect with other face yogis, connect with each other, and connect with our team and the presenters. If you have a specific question, just know that you can say inside of the chat, like, hey, I need help, or I can't access this, or I'm experiencing video and audio issues, and someone from our team will be able to help you inside of that chat. So just keep an eye out when you are messaging inside of there, because our team is behind the scenes and here to help you. If you have a very specific question, just know that you'll always be able to email info@faceyogamethod.com. So you can email us anytime at info@faceyogamethod.com, and our team of customer support fairies, as we call them, are backstage and waiting to support you. Another thing is that while you guys are coming in, wow, so beautiful. Everyone tuning in from all over the world, Nashville, UK, Germany, the Philippines. That's where I'm from, Cora. Spain, beautiful. Hello, Mandy. Hello, Mary. Just know that throughout this summit, you'll be, learning so much information. So really, we created a summit workbook for you to download and print out, so then you're able to take notes the way that you can and that you want to during the sessions. So if you haven't yet downloaded and printed your workbook, please, our team is putting the link to the free summit workbook. It's right there. We created it for you just to aid your learning. So that is being put up inside of the chat bar under files. So if you want to access your summit workbook, really that's what everyone's been using to take notes. Click on the link and you'll be able to access the summit workbook right now. Please do so before we get started. We're going to get started really soon, in just around 10 minutes. And yeah, I'm seeing some of you telling me, oh my gosh, Alta, she loved all of the sessions. She learned so much. I know that many of you were writing in to tell our team that, you hadn't done something for 5 hours straight in a while, but you stayed for all 5 sessions yesterday. And my hope is that we are able to give you the same amount of value, the same amount of connection, so that you stay throughout the 5 hours of the sessions today. So just as a reminder, if you haven't yet downloaded your summit workbook, that's what you will want to download to be able to see the full agenda, not just of today, but of all the days for the rest of the summit. So the summit workbook also has the agenda and what to expect for the rest of these days. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'm not waiting to get all the fabulous information. Amazing. Tina from India. Oh, I love seeing this entire community all around the world tuning in for the first Face Yoga Summit. Now, yesterday we tried to give you as much as we could on the foundations of face yoga. Yesterday was all about that first step, the action, the methodology behind face yoga. And really each day builds on the next. So first, yesterday we started with the foundations, and today we're going to be going into the optimization. So what you currently have, whether that's like skincare, any practices you have, and how to optimize them because tomorrow will be all about the results. So day one, all about the foundations. Day two, optimization. And day three, tomorrow, is all about the results. Because if you've been following us for a while, you know that face yoga is so much more than just facial exercises. We've kind of created a trifecta in for the face yoga method, which is face, skincare, and mindset. So today we'll be delving in that second part a lot. We'll be talking about your skincare. What are the biggest myths, that we all have, or haven't learned about in skincare, and also how to debunk some of those so then we can find and optimize for the best results. What you can expect after this full summit, the full 3 days, is that you'll be walking away knowing more about the face, skincare, and mindset connection than ever before. So keep it going inside of the chat. I want to hear from you. Where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? What your favorite session from yesterday is, or what you're excited about for today. Our presenters are on this chat. They love feeling your energy, and really, it brings us so much life and really validates that this was something that we wanted to create for this community when we hear and see your engagement in the chat. So I am getting, and I'm getting feedback that the presenters are getting ready and they're coming through in just over 5 minutes. So if you missed any of the sessions, like I said yesterday, if you missed any of the sessions, we have a VIP pass offer that will allow you to watch all of the sessions. Now, the VIP offer was supposed to end yesterday, but we woke up with literally hundreds of emails asking to still make the VIP offer available for those who wanted it, because sometimes maybe you didn't hear us and letting us know that that the VIP offer was supposed to expire yesterday. So the team so graciously is allowing the VIP offer to come back up in case you missed any of those sessions, or in case you might miss any of the upcoming sessions. But after 2 hours from now, no joke, after 2 hours from now, we will take that VIP offer down, and you won't be able to access the replays if you haven't signed up. Now, you only have 2 hours left to purchase. It is a $17 offer. You get all of the session replays for 30 days, plus 3 bonus masterclasses from Fumiko, plus a skincare DIY recipe book guide. So I also got kind of amazing news today. So the team is working hard behind the scenes, and I got news this morning that day one's session replays are already up inside of the VIP area, 3 whole days early. So our team is running behind the scenes to be able to give you the best experience. So just know that all of day one sessions are already inside of the VIP area. You can already watch or rewatch your favorite sessions. And really huge thank you to the team. I don't know if you know, but Face Yoga Method is powered by 30 women all around the world, working to create an experience for you. So huge thank you to the team for putting that up. I know that our viewers and our audience will love this immediacy almost. And also yesterday, we launched our newest Face Yoga Method Mastery membership. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this membership and how this is the new revolution of face yoga, and really was created with all of the feedback and you in mind. So just know that we'll be talking a little bit more, and I got all of your questions yesterday. So I will we'll have a session today where I'm going through some of your Q&A, and just if you had any questions about mastery, put them in the chat and the team will relay those to me. But today is all about awareness. Right? So day 2, awareness, and understanding really the habits that have brought us to this space, and how we'd be able to transform these habits to healthier ones with the information that we will be sharing today. So this is what you can expect from day 2 of the summit. The first session is how to identify your skin's condition with Maria, one of the co-founders of Face Yoga Method, and our in-house esthetician who co-created the Face Yoga Method skincare line with us. So they will be going through the biggest skincare myths, what is said, so much things are said inside of the internet, and what is actually the truth. So the first session is going to be all about skincare 101, really understanding skin molecules even. Janet is a huge breadth of knowledge, and that's what she'll be going over. Session number 2 will be how incorrect skincare combining may be causing more damage than good. And Janet and Maria are coming back for a second session to talk about how you can optimize your results through the proper skincare combining. That's going to be one of my favorite sessions of the day, so make sure you make it to that. Okay, session number 3 is all about the 5-step process to glowing, even, and tighter skin. Like I said, face yoga method is so much more than just facial exercises. It's the face, it's the skincare, and it's the mindset. So we are super excited for Tina to come on with a special guest from our team to talk about the biggest skincare questions that you have. That will be a very interactive session where you will be asking your questions and Tina will be able to respond as well. Then we're turning the skincare leaf, right? And we'll be moving into the 10 common unconscious aging habits and how to fix them. So Tina will be doing a whole session on 10 common, you probably have these aging habits, and really how you can start turning these bad habits into healthier habits. So Tina will be going through a session on that. And of course, to close off day 2, Fumiko will be telling us why we're not seeing consistent face yoga results and what we can do about it. So Fumiko is coming back to close us off with a session on a 5-step process that she's been working on for a full year and is so excited to share it with you. Now, let me know if you're excited. Inside of the chat, just write, I'm excited, can't wait. Let me know if you're excited and if you're with me so that we can start drum rolling and welcoming our presenters. Now, up next, we have Maria and Janet coming in to debunk the biggest skincare myths and really how to identify your skin's healthy condition. Now, Janet is a certified esthetician, and she is part of and she does co-formulate a lot of the face yoga method skincare that we have in-house. And Maria, as you know, has been interested in skincare since she was in her teens. She's tried everything. And so she, along with us and you, will be able to learn from Janet and her breadth of knowledge. Now, what you can expect from that session is understanding what is healthy skin, what is unhealthy skin, how skin condition can change as we age and depending on climate and environmental factors, how simple a skincare regime can actually be, and how not to fall for the latest marketing and gimmicks inside of skincare. And we have, okay, Maria, everyone's already saying that they're excited.
I'm so excited. Hi, good morning, everybody. I was just talking to Jana behind the scenes. She's very excited to do this. She says it's something, since she's not here, I can tell you this. She says it's something she never, ever does. She was feeling a little bit nervous, but she is such a wealth of information. She is there's nothing that she doesn't know about skincare, that she's just in it all day long with doctors and estheticians and chemists. And the more that I talk to her, the more I learn. So I'm really excited to be able to have this conversation with her today for all of you, because I know that you're going to learn something, sometimes some really basic, simple things that you don't even know about how you can make your skincare regimen better. She certainly taught me, and I thought I knew a lot. And I've learned a couple new very simple things that have made a big difference in my skincare. So we have so much to go over with her that we're going to have. Did you tell them we're going to have 2 sessions, Camille?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Janet, we locked her in for 2 sessions.
Yes. Yeah. So the first one, we're really going to let Janet talk about skincare in general, what's healthy skin, how to get healthy skin. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our background. And then our conversation just ended up when we were putting this together. going on, we decided we had to do 2 sessions. And then in the second session, we are going to talk about the products that Janet develops for us, and possibly, hopefully, have time for some questions around skincare in general. So
oh my gosh, that's what they're most excited about. When I asked them what they're most excited about day 2, they said, I can't wait to learn how to take care of my skin. So perfect.
Oh, good. I know we have another session on that too. I think that Jen is doing, that's going to be a little bit different. And this is really about the perspective of a licensed esthetician and what they see and the best way to do it. So hopefully she's going to pop in any moment now.
Definitely. And I think, this is kind of information that, we just get bombarded with marketing messages with zero education. We're told you need this, or you need this in the morning, this at night, or you can't have skincare without this specific product. And really, there's no education out there. You just kind of follow the marketing messages,
For sure. And that's what we're going to talk about, because I used to always get sucked into that. And if you follow the marketing messages, it feels like you need to buy something new and different every month, if not more often, that, there's a new invention or something new that you need to do. And in fact, I always say it's like skincare. I mean, and not like skin, but like exercise. You can always go back to the basics of just having movement and maybe using weights. You don't need to have all the super fancy contraptions. The basics and eating healthy, all of that is where it's at. I'm just looking now to make sure that I'm not getting a message from Janet. She should be on. I'm going to text her and make sure she's coming, Camille.
No problem. Everyone's excited. Hello, Natalia. Good morning from Brazil. I'm in Brazil too, Natalia. Hello. All right. Lata, hi from the UK. Hello. Janice from Jamaica. Paki from Spain. Love it. Everyone is coming in today to learn about their skincare.
I love the international audience, because when you just said Spain, so I imagine, what is it, the afternoon? It's a perfect time to be able to watch on a Friday afternoon.
Our team thought of everything. Yeah.
Oh, she says we're here, we're waiting, we're there. Okay, let me just tell her. Sometimes she does. Okay, so let me tell her to click enter room. Okay.
Colette said, good morning from New York City. Can so relate to all the marketing messages that we're getting on a daily basis. Can be so confusing. Colette, I am in there. I'm in that basket with you. And hello. And I think, this is not something that we're ever taught. You don't really go to, it's not something that you learn at school unless you are a professional, or like this is something that you want to study professionally. It's not common knowledge.
Yes. Sorry, you keep. Janet is having a problem with the link, and I'm just gonna. Okay, so.
All right, Tunisia, New England, Tennessee, Slovenia. Oh my gosh. Carla, Kansas City. My daughter's name is Camille. Well, love her. All right. Okay. It seems, just a reminder, if you are experiencing any video or audio issues like Gloria is inside of the chat, you can just hit refresh. The link that you're receiving on a daily basis via email is the same link that you'll use throughout this whole summit. So if you have any issues, you can either hit refresh, hit the reconnect button, or actually just go back to your email and click on the same link to get back into this room. So this room is always going to be on the same link. Our team did their magic behind the scenes.
Sorry, I'm sure this is what happens sometimes when you have a guest speaker on. Let's see. Making sure she has the right link.
And it's interesting also because skincare is something that comes depending, I mean, it really depends on where you live, So if you're living in a place that has 4 seasons, your skin developed in a different way, right? And also has different needs. Whereas if you're like someone like me, who came from a place very tropical, your skin has totally different needs, where the sun is very strong, you know? So all these people from all around the world, I know that we've prepared content for you no matter where you live, but really skincare is something that I personally only got into after joining the Face Yoga Method team, because Maria and Fumiko would like tell me, okay, skincare starts in your 20s, you know? Not even, skincare starts in your teens for Maria, right? And I know she's
Yes.
going to tell you a little bit more about her story around skincare.
Well, mine, I had to learn pretty early because I have really fair skin and I get like, I don't know if you can see like all these
Freckles.
spots from, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
freckles and things from the sun so easily. And it's so when I was pretty young, I want to say when I was before, when I was a teen, sunscreen was not popular like it is now. It wasn't like a known thing to do. I wish that it was. But my mom took me to the dermatologist because I had so many big moles like on my back. And they told me specifically that I had to always wear sunscreen on my face, no matter what the weather was, all that kind of thing. And I remember thinking, okay, I'll do it because my skin was so fair. But all my friends thought it was really weird. I remember like I was putting it on one morning, it was raining, and I was with a friend of mine, and she was like, "Why are you putting that on? Like it's raining, there's no sun in the sky." And then I had to give her this little lecture on SPF. Oh, Janet is joining us. Yay, she's making it. So, okay, I think she's coming through.
So
We
the
did
lesson
it.
is SPF. Yeah, the
There I
lesson
am.
on
Yeah,
that.
a lesson on SPF, and I'm so grateful. Janet, you made it. Okay, we got to get her sound now. She made it, and now we need her sound.
Now do you have it?
We have it.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Take it away, ladies.
Welcome. Okay, bye, Camille.
Bye.
You made it. Thank you so much for making it in here today and giving us this time to help educate our audience. So everybody is very excited that you're here. Our chat box is blowing up and they want to learn more about skincare. So first, I want to introduce Janet, who is the woman who creates our skincare line. And when Fumiko and I decided to have a skincare line, we were a bit apprehensive. People kept asking us if we had one. And we didn't necessarily want to get into it because I kind of thought, does the world really need another skincare line? There are so many out there. So we decided that if we were going to do it, it had to be of the highest integrity and the best of the best. And then that's when we found Janet. So Janet is a licensed esthetician that specializes in corrective skincare. And she has had extensive training by world-renowned doctors in the skincare industry. And currently she works with a team of MDs and chemists and pharmacists on a daily basis to research and develop new products. So welcome, Janet. Do you want to say hello and tell us, I know you have a story about why you got into skincare, a little bit about that.
Well, good morning, everyone. The reason I ended up specializing in corrective skincare is because I have and still do have, I have to fight cystic acne and hyperpigmentation every day. So I have to practice what I preach. And it took me years to find how to correct my own skin, and then started treating other people's skin, and then started formulating for other companies.
And your skin looks amazing. So of course you found the solution. So Janet, can we start with healthy skin, and you just tell us, because I think there's misconceptions about what healthy skin actually is.
Healthy skin is even skin tone. There's no lumps, no bumps, no clogged pores, no congestion in that skin. It's soft, it's smooth and supple. And it's plump.
It's plump. And can a lot of people would say that, like you were just talking about, like what you had genetically, that they don't have healthy skin or genetics are against them. What would you say to that?
I would say it's more of a food allergy, instead of it being that the parents had acne, so the child's going to have acne. The parent probably had a food allergy or sensitivity, and that's what got passed on to the child, is the sensitivity to the food. So they need to eliminate foods from their bodies that's not good for them.
Okay.
And they
And I
can do
know,
that
sorry.
by a 5 strands hair test. And everyone should do that because you need to know what's not good for you. And it doesn't mean it's forever, but you just might have too much of something in your system. And we need to eliminate it to get the body to heal and the skin to heal because it comes from the inside out.
Okay, well, let's get right into it then, since you actually brought up the 5-strand hair test, which is something I had that a little later down, but since we're talking about it, let's just do it now. It's something that you taught me about the other day, and I want to just talk about it a little bit more because I know, for example, I have a nephew. And I was telling Jen about my nephew who suffers from acne and he has cut out all sugar. And she said, well, it's not necessarily sugar. And then I said, well, how do you know what it is? So Janet told me about this test. Janet, do you want to tell them a little bit more about this test and how the accuracy has been so great for you?
We have tested for years. We used to do blood tests, saliva test on the back, 30 some years ago. And the most accurate test that I've ever found and the most inexpensive is called 5 strands allergy testing, food sensitivity, and they can buy it on Amazon Prime. And I have nothing to do with that company. I have no dog in the fight. It just is, the truth is the truth. And I've never found anything that is so accurate as that. So when we can eliminate the food from the inside and start healing the body from the inside and then treat the skin topically from the outside, you get great results that work every time.
And so it's basically the way that it works from my understanding, and I haven't done it yet, but I want to, is that you're taking 5 strands of your hair, pulling them out by the root and sending them into this company that then diagnoses what foods are not good for you or inflammatory for you. Is that correct?
And then they'll email you back the results. Some people have just a few. Some people, it's overwhelming. So it's really hard for them. But if they just kind of keep in mind, it is not forever. It's a very brief period of time, and you'll notice you'll feel better. You won't have brain fog. You won't have digestive issues, and your skin will look much better.
Okay. Well, I love that tip because I have never heard about that. So I am going to do that. All right. So let's talk about, I know we had talked about clean skin and how that's the foundation for everything you do. So can you just talk about the basics of that and how to get it and how that works?
So you want to cleanse. We don't want any gimmicks. We do not want anything rough, abrasive on our skin. So like, let's start in the evening. A lot of women wear makeup. To get that makeup off, I like people microfiber, a makeup eraser quality type. And you always want to use lukewarm to tepid water. Get that wet, wipe off all your makeup dirt and debris with that. And then you want to go in with your cleanser, which, is extremely concentrated. Leave the face moist, your hands wet, and you put approximately the size of a pea in the palm of your hand, and you gently emulsify that. You don't want to go like rough. You want to be very gentle with it, foam it, add a little bit more water, and you want to clean that skin on skin for 1 full minute. And you want to get in there and really manipulate, get the blood flowing, see that skin turning pink, and then rinse away with tepid water. And we want you to pat the skin dry with a soft, very soft microfiber cloth. No rubbing and scrubbing with anything rough and abrasive on that skin.
Okay. No, I love that. I mean, that was something that I admit that I haven't really been doing in terms of washing skin on skin for a whole minute. And as you said, it takes longer than you think. Most of us just do this and then we're done. But you want a whole minute to be entirely cleansed.
1 full minute or longer. And the difference when you cleanse your skin properly, you'll feel it immediately. There's no denying it.
And when you have a good cleanser, which we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And can you talk to specifically why it is tepid water? Because so many of us, especially in the morning, I think people, Fumiko has the 100 splash face with the cool water that she has everybody do. But so many people just, they hop into a warm shower, or at night they like the warm washcloth on their face, and why that is not good.
we do not want heat on our face because we have elastins and fibroblasts in our skin. And if people can remember back in the days when their dads or husbands used to wear those tidy whities with the elastic waistbands, and they would get washed in hot water and dried in hot water, what happened? It disintegrated it. It broke it down. We do not want to break any of our collagen and elastins down.
Okay.
So no heat. Heat
no
device.
heat.
No heat. No heat.
So so we're not going to get into like individual devices, but you're saying in general, no devices with any kind
We don't need any gimmicks. Skin on skin.
No gimmicks. Okay. Okay. So now so you had spoken about using a microfiber washcloth, and I just want to go into that a little bit more, and not using anything abrasive on the skin, because so many people, they have, and myself included, especially when I was younger, you get this feeling that, oh, scrub, 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 like I'm going to scrub it really hard and I'm going to get everything out. And so can you talk a little bit more about the importance of using either just skin on skin like this, or using the microfiber cloth?
So if you use anything abrasive, and there's scrubs out there, cleansing scrubs, all different sizes. Some are really coarse, some are really fine. And when you take and you scrub your face like that, if you would take a microscope and you would look at the skin underneath that, it creates little tears in that skin. When the skin gets torn like that, it's in a constant state of repair, trying to heal itself, and then it becomes thicker and callous. Well, we don't want that type of a thick skin. We want plump skin, but not thick, hard skin.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the skin almost leather-like.
Got it.
We don't want that.
No, we do not want that. And that's a very easy thing. Like what you just talked about. I love that. Those are two simple things for people to change, to not use anything, like no scrubs with all the little grains in it, nothing rough. Or I literally, I see somebody's writing in there, throwing out my scrubs. Yeah, definitely. I did that too. I got rid of a lot of this stuff after I talked to Janet. Valerie says, what about hot yoga? Oh, I think that's fine. The room is usually 104, and that's not, Janet, you're good with that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. She's talking, Valerie, just to be specific, she's talking about putting hot water on your skin to like wash your face and scrub it up. But hot yoga is great. You can get rid of toxins. Okay. So let's move on to skin. There's so many product myths, and there's so much product out there on the market. And so I want to start with, let's start, you had given me, we had so many talking points, or we have so many talking points. Let's talk about products that work together and molecular weights, because that's something that I really didn't know about until I spoke with you. And I thought, why have I not known this, in all my decades of life? How come I was never educated? It's so important.
People like to cherry pick from a line because, number one, they find nothing's working, so they're trying everything, and they're mixing different companies' products. You do not want to do that, whether it's with your products, Maria, or Chanel's, or whoever. The product, the company has made the line to synergistically work together for them. They know how their products need to be layered and how to be used for optimum results. When you start picking a cleanser from here and a vitamin C from there and a sunscreen from there and a hyaluronic acid from there, they are not designed to go together. They need to stay within whatever company they choose, because that company knows how it should be applied.
Okay. So can you talk about then so you're saying stay within a brand, but about molecular weight?
The molecular weight. So what a lot of people don't understand is, and products have to be layered according to the molecular weight. So if you would take and put on like a thick, heavy cream that, let's say it has a molecular weight of 60 to 100,000, that cream, and then you want to take and you want to go back and put a serum on top of that, a vitamin C serum, a hyaluronic acid serum. It has a smaller molecular weight, typically speaking, and it cannot penetrate through that heavy cream. So it's just laying on your surface doing nothing. It's like rocks through a colander. It's not possible.
Okay. So when we spoke earlier, you were saying, and I'm just going to talk in generalities here, like in general, many products, however they're measured, molecular weights have a molecular weight in the tens of thousands, like
Yes.
the 50,000, 60,000, whatever, as opposed to the products that we have from you, which are in the hundreds, or is that
And
correct?
we would like to keep things under 1,000.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a huge difference if you're putting, and correct me if I'm wrong, just to say if you're putting like a serum or vitamin C that's at a molecular weight of 600 as opposed to 60,000 or 6,000 as to how it's going to absorb into your skin.
Right. When they're a huge molecular weight like that, they're just going to lay on the surface. They cannot do that. They
Yes.
cannot penetrate. You're not going to get any benefit other than them laying on the surface of your skin.
So there's
It's
really
not going
no
to stimulate anything.
I'm not going to stimulate. And no, so there's really no point in so many of these products that we see out there.
Right.
And
But they sure look pretty.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice marketing around them and a lot of, but if it's just going to sit on your skin, then you're right. What's the point? If it's not small enough to actually be absorbed in and do its job and put on in the right order with the right products, is what you're saying.
Right. That is exactly correct.
Well, that is so news to me because I'm one of those people. I mean, I get sent a lot of product. And I've definitely tried many, many, many products throughout the years. And you kind of almost like, I think there's almost a placebo effect. Sometimes you talk yourself into wanting to like see the results, but go on. I know you're going to say something there.
Yeah. So how you want to, because you want to know for a fact, you want to know for sure what you're doing is working. Oh, not that it feels so silky and so great. So what you want to do is you want to take a selfie once a week and take it same time, same lighting, all of that. And with that selfie, you want to do straight on, right side, left side. And you want to go in and be able to blow that up and take it after you've cleaned your skin and you watch week from week. You do that. That's your truth. Document it.
No,
if
I
you
think
don't see a change, then you know it's not working. We want change.
Agreed.
And you document it. So you know you're not lying to yourself. Prove it.
No, that's exactly what Fumiko always says too about when people are doing the poses for face yoga. She says, take a picture because the changes are going to start to come and they're going to be very subtle and you're not going to remember back to when you first started. So always take a picture. So I love that you just said that.
Yes.
So
document.
Yes, we are getting so many questions and some of them, okay, one of them, how do you know the molecular weights of individual products? How can you find that out? I don't know if you can answer that, Janet, but.
Every company, a lot of companies are some are open about it. Some are secretive about it. You just talk to your skincare professional or whoever you're buying your products through and ask them.
Okay. Then we have a question, which is good because we've talked about microneedling and the benefits of that. I know you're a fan of that, but Sophie says, if we shouldn't use scrubs and abrasive products, then what about needling?
Needling's great. It's very sharp. You don't want to use dull needles. Then you're going to tear the skin and you're going to create trauma. It's sharp. It's in and it's out. No dragging, pulling. Microneedling is great. Done properly. It's terrific.
With the right blunt and the right length of needle. Yes, Sophie, correct. You can microneedle. It's different than the scrub that you would go like that.
Yeah, it's very sharp, straight in, straight out.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about, I know you had something to say because I know a big thing, and I know our audience asks about this too, is natural skincare lines. So there's so many out there that say all natural ingredients, et cetera, et cetera. And for me, I'm going to say personally, that was not my goal, was to get all natural. My goal was to get a treatment oriented skincare line. So can you talk about that sort of?
Yes. All natural doesn't really mean anything. Poison ivy's natural. Poison oak, it's natural. Is it good for you? No. Crushed rock crushed down, put in makeup and minerals. Do you think rock has a place in our face? And it's natural. It doesn't belong there. So natural is extremely overrated. And if I can just touch on that, on mineral makeup,
Yeah.
the reason it gives people it gives a beautiful finish to the skin because they pulverize those rocks down to a tiny, tiny molecular weight. So it's like putty into that skin. It goes in and it fills in the pores really well, and it looks really great. And this is another thing when people take pictures of themselves and they see all this dark in their nose and in their cheeks. Typically, that's mineral makeup, and you've got to pull it up and to get it out of there. And the worse their skin gets, the bigger their pores get, the more makeup they use, the bigger it just becomes a vicious, vicious cycle. So rocks do not have a place in our skin, in my opinion. I just see tremendous harm done by it.
No, I agree. And I mean, I learned that from you too. And I know there are so many women out there that still use mineral makeup, and there's a huge industry built around that. So
yes,
that's something
billions
to
of
be
dollars to put crushed rock in your skin. Mica, quartz, they don't have a place in our skin.
Oh my gosh, we're getting so many. Someone's laughing at your poison ivy content. I've always felt that same way about natural skin. When I see it, I just think, well, so it's made of these natural ingredients, but is it really going to be reparative? Is it really going to be treatment oriented if it is? So I'm glad that you touched on that and talked about that. Okay, so let's talk about let's see. A lot of people are asking the order of how to put on products. Now that you've opened them up to the idea of molecular weights, everyone, of course, wants to know how to find the molecular weights. And as Janet just said, it's not going to be listed on the product, right, Janet?
Right.
I mean, I'm assuming,
never.
Yeah. I guess you either have to check if you're getting it from a salon with the salon, or you have to write into the company. But they're asking about the order of putting on products, like say, you're doing a face wash and all the other kind of serums on top of it. Can you talk about that for a minute?
It's typically always the thinnest to the thickest, just to keep it simple. The thinnest to the thickest.
Okay. So starting obviously with cleaning the face.
And then your toner.
And then your toner.
And then, yes. And then from there. And then another myth that people do not understand is they believe that a hyaluronic acid, for example, or a vitamin C, any ingredient, they believe that they're all the same. They are not. People need to understand efficacy of products, and the analogies that I like to use, because most people can relate to vanilla. You have Madagascar vanilla, and you have vanilla that you can go buy from the store for 99 cents. They are both vanilla. They are a world apart. They should not, in my opinion, be in the same category, but they're both vanilla. Same thing with wine. You have $2 Chuck, bottle of $3,500 Bordeaux. They're both red wine, but they're a world apart. And so that's the same thing when you get to ingredients. So we always source the highest integrity of ingredients that we can find. We don't want to buy generic. You don't want to buy cheap. So that's why you'll see some people think, oh, I can just run down to, Walmart. I'll get my vitamin C for $10. I'm not going to go spend $175 on a vitamin C. Well, the vitamin C, and not always, but typically the more expensive one is going to be better than the $10 one, but not always. And again, I want you to test it. Use half your face for one vitamin C, the other half for the other vitamin C. Have your moment of truth.
And what about, speaking of vitamin C, I know you like the apple test too.
I love the apple test because that's something that everyone can do to see if they have a high quality vitamin C. And you just take an apple and you put it, slice it in quarters or thirds, or depending on how many vitamin C's you want to test. And then you take that sliced apple and you coat it in whichever vitamin C that you're doing. And the one that how they oxidize is really interesting. Some will start oxidizing within 5 minutes. Some will go an hour or two, and some will go 12 hours, 18 hours. So that is just a real simple test for everyone to do.
Yeah, and it's a very visual test, so you can see right. Okay, somebody asked, what about dry brushing? She says for the face and for the body. I don't think dry brushing is something you'd recommend for the face.
No.
How do you feel about that?
No trauma.
No trauma. Yeah. Trauma. For the body?
I'm not a fan of anything rough and abrasive. It's just not necessary.
Okay. Keiko says, which I know we're going to talk about in the next session, but we can answer this now too. She says, please explain the importance of toner. What does the right pH? Why is the right pH on skin so important?
It's important because we want to get onto our next product. We want that pH to our skin set right back to normal, so the products can penetrate right away and work. And again, always test. Do toner on half your test and the other half no toner. You always want a moment of truth. You need to know for yourself that it's working, so you believe it. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's important.
Okay. Yeah. So Keiko, it's that and it's also that the products that you put on after the toner, because your skin's reset, are going to have the intended effect, as opposed to if your skin is not balanced, it won't have a strong effect for the next products you're putting on, the treatment based.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay.
That's exactly right.
All right. Let's see. What do you want the apple to be? Not turning brown. She's asking about the apple test.
Yeah. No oxidization, no turning brown.
No. Yeah. And how long does it take for it? A lot of people are asking about the apple test now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
Your vitamin C will go 12 to 18 hours or longer. Yours will. Like I said, a lot of others won't even make it 5 minutes.
So it's, for those of you who didn't understand, it's really just taking the slice of apple, putting the vitamin C on a slice of apple, and then another vitamin C, and then see how long it takes, yes, for the apple to turn brown, for it to start to oxidize. Okay, let's talk about so many questions. Let's talk about some of the myths in the skincare industry, because when we were talking the other day, I feel it's so hard, and it still is for me. You're in the industry every day, day in and day out, working with medical doctors and chemists. And so you have an insider's perspective on it. But from the consumer's perspective, it's just nonstop information. And most of it is filtered through some kind of beauty magazine, right? And we're seeing what they want us to see. But when we were talking the other day, we were talking about how you were saying so much stuff goes on behind the scenes that, and even the FDA, who's supposed to be out there, in the United States, in any case, like protecting us, it's all manipulated to a certain extent. And you were talking about a big popular product in the skincare line, that is a lot of people use, but that how they had been called out within the skincare industry, that you found out about because of some very bad ingredients in their product. Can you talk a little bit more about how that happens and how we as the public just don't know any of that?
Ask me that in a little different way. I'm not sure.
When we were talking about a particular, a sunscreen that recently got called for a lot of problems with what they had.
A lot of carcinogenics in them. Mm-hmm.
Carcinogenics, yes.
Right. So how people want to study, like if they want to, there's a lot of myths about some products actually that are extremely beneficial for the skin, and they have really bad reviews from not so much the FDA always, but from other companies. So what people want to do is, if they really want to be sure an ingredient is really bad, is they want to see who did the study and who paid for that study. because you can take and manipulate a test from any university or anywhere you want. You can make the rules so that that test can be manipulated the way you want it to turn out. So, and a lot of times they add lead and mercury to those ingredients to make them say they're bad. And if we add lead and mercury to your drinking water, it's going to become a carcinogenic. So you always want to do your own homework, research who paid for that test, and does it benefit them financially for it to come out a certain way?
Yes. And so so for those of you, just to give a little example. So when I was talking with Janet the other day, I was telling her how I had recently watched a movie on the opioid trade, and it was based on a true story. And what happened in the movie is that there was a professor at the university that was hired by Big Pharma to do these tests on their drugs, right? And he had been doing them for years, and they always came out the way that Big Pharma wanted. And this particular drug that he was testing, his lab testers came and they're like, this is really bad. It's going to cause addiction and kill people, etc. It's really, really bad. And it was so bad that he couldn't deny it. And so he had to go to his university and say, look, or to the Big Pharma and say, look, you guys can't bring this drug to market. We have to fix it. We have to change it. It's not good. And Big Pharma had so much invested in it and was getting a clearance by the FDA. They're like, no, we're going to do it anyways. You just need to switch the way you're showing your testing. Like, just make these results work for us. And so he ended up becoming a whistleblower and went up against the FDA. And you can guess what happened. The FDA smashed him too, because they're, hand in hand with Big Pharma. And so in other words, the drug still came out. So I can imagine that, fortunately, we're not talking about opioids or drugs. We're talking about skincare. But I can imagine with the FDA that kind of thing happens a lot too in the skincare industry. And that's why it
happens. Yeah. The exact same thing happens.
Yeah. So that's why you're saying if there's some product or some ingredient that's the new miracle ingredient or the new miracle product or whatever it is, Janet's saying, take a look at who paid for the testing of this ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See who wrote the check to that university. And if it benefits their bottom line, then you need to be a little bit skeptical.
Yes, exactly.
And again, try it on your own skin. Try half, document it, document.
Yes. Yeah, I know it's a lot of information, and it sounds almost like, oh my gosh, we have to do all of this research and find out what's in our skincare, this, that, and the other. And you kind of do. I mean, we're going to talk about our skincare line in our next session that Janet's created for us. But Janet, what would you say to the person that's out there and they're completely overwhelmed with all this information, and how do they divine down what it is that they want to use?
Well, they need to find out what they're going to address in their own skin. And people need to address first and foremost is they need to have clean skin. And then after they have clean skin, then start addressing specific issues. Pigmentation.
Okay. Yes. And we'll talk about that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm getting so many questions. Okay, people are, someone wants to know if they bring a slice of apple to the store. No, you're probably you can go buy a cheap vitamin C, and usually the drugstore will let you return it if you don't like it, and then put it on your slice of apple. Okay, let's see. What about sunscreens? I'm a huge believer in sunscreens. I know Janet is too. Janet, do you want to talk about that for a minute? And the importance of that?
I know right now we don't have your sunscreen out, and you'll be having an amazing sunscreen. But in the meantime, I believe that I like people to use a sunscreen that's made for babies. They seem to have higher integrity ingredients. They're just safer all around, in my opinion. So if I would be sending someone to the drugstore to buy a sunscreen, buy it for babies and use it for yourself.
Oh, that's good advice. And I know a lot of people too around sunscreens, they'll say, we've definitely gotten this before, even though we're not selling a sunscreen right now, is that they're worried about the chemicals that have to be in sunscreen to block the sun. What would you say to that?
I think it's so insignificant, and the molecular weight of that chemical is laying on the surface of the skin, and it's not getting absorbed into that body.
Okay. All right. So there's her answer, because we got a lot of questions on the sunscreen. Okay. Somebody wants to know about clay masks for sensitive skin. Do you have any thoughts on clay masks?
Well, I'm a big fan of proper clay mask. It depends on what's in it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I think that's kind of
blank questions like that are really difficult, because I don't know. I can't see the ingredients. I can't feel it. I can't tell how much wax has been added to it or not added to it at all. It's not fair for me to answer that question. And, don't put everything in one basket. All products, like I said before, are not created equal.
Okay. No, so she's basically saying a clay mask can work if it's a high integrity, good quality product. Nothing against it, but unless we were to look at each one individually, which we cannot. Okay, let me see what else we got. Fumiko's in there answering questions. Oh, thanks, Charlie. I'm really impressed with fellow estheticians. Janet, you know your stuff. So that's nice to hear. Let me see. We have a couple more minutes. I'm going to see oh gosh, we still have, okay, we talked about the 5-strand. Janet, is there anything you want to, okay, then can we talk about what healthy exfoliation of skin is now that we've told everyone you can't scrub like that? How would you healthfully exfoliate your skin?
We like to use mild acids, nothing too aggressive, but you want to cause that skin to turn over. As we age, when we're young, our cells turn over about 28 days. And as we age, it's 30 days, 35 days, 40 days. Then the skin becomes sluggish. There's a buildup. So we have to make that skin turn over. We want to do that with the appropriate acids, and appropriate vitamin A products are great for that. But it has to be a very correct vitamin A and a very, very correct, glycolics and salicylics. They're not all created equal by any means, but you have to force the skin to turn over with an acid or a vitamin A. Okay.
Yeah. So none of the scrubbing. It's all about, okay. So let me see any more questions. Everyone, now they're all saying they want to see your beautiful face better. They want you to move back a little bit from the camera. There you go. There you go. Okay. Let's see.
I have no idea what you guys are seeing. Can you see me?
Yeah. Can you not see, Janet, can you not see yourself on the screen?
Yeah, I can, but I see like my whole self. Like a lot of myself.
Oh, we're only seeing you from like here, like your chin, a little bit of your neck. That's interesting. You're getting a different view. Okay, now if you go back a couple inches, go back a little bit, go perfect. That's perfect right there.
I can't sit like this.
You're like, I can't sit here. Okay. Well, that is the FDA's joke. Somebody writes, yeah. Okay, let me look at the rest of the questions. Oh gosh, yeah, somebody's talking about Amazon reviews and do not trust there's so many vitamin C's. I know personally, from being in e-commerce for so long, of a lot of people that buy that really cheap kind of vitamin C stuff out of China and then just resell it on Amazon, which I'm sure makes your skin crawl, Janet. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, hearing all this, because it makes you consider all the products that a lot of you probably have in your cabinets right now. And if truth be told, I went, after talking with you several times, Janet, I literally, because I have so much stuff and a lot of it is quote unquote high quality stuff, and a lot of it was given to me, I threw away probably 80% of it, because I thought there's no point in giving this to a friend. There's no point in keeping it because I can't use it anymore. So I feel for all of you that are out there doing that, but it's worth it, because like Janet said, what is the point of having something A, that's ineffective, B, that could be harmful, or C, that just sits on your skin and does nothing? So before we wrap this one up, and then we're going to come back in about 15 minutes at 9 o'clock, and we're going to talk specifically about our skincare line and get into more questions. Do you have anything else you want to say about skincare in general, Janet? Oh, here comes Camille.
Just prove it to yourself. Document and pictures. Just document.
I know you're a big fan of that. A lot of us consumers get a little bit lazy when it comes to that. I know I can speak for a lot of our face yoga people that don't even want to take pictures of when they first start face yoga. But you're right, it's worth it, and it's so easy to take a selfie nowadays.
So easy.
So easy.
But that way you have your moment of truth, and you want truth.
Exactly. Hello, Camille.
Hey, everyone is on the chat loving Janet's truth bombs. They're calling it truth bombs. Janet is just dropping truth bombs here and there. And so Maria and Janet will be back after 15 minutes, just after this break. And I'm also getting feedback, Janet, if you can reposition your camera a little lower, because people who are watching on their mobiles are getting cut off here and they really want to know what you're saying. Perfect. This is great. Everyone's already excited.
Is that better?
So much better. So
okay.
we'll just take a 15-minute break, and I know Maria and Janet, you will both rejoin us for more Q&A and also going over actual specific products that we recommend using that has a low molecular weight. I'm learning with Janet, and also how to combine them in the right way. So thank you so much, everyone. Love to Janet. Thank you so much, Janet. You're getting a lot of love in the chat, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Janet. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Okay, you closed it? No, that was, she told you to close it.
All right. Oh my gosh, there are so many questions inside of the chat, and like I said, we will have time again in the next session just to go over more of what Janet is sharing. But really, the idea that we can clump ourselves into specific skincare types, just like 3 or 4 skincare types, is kind of absurd. We all have different needs. I know that I am born with a lot of freckles, and that's something that I work with a lot, so it's just how do I even out this pigmentation? And having someone like Janet on our team, it's just a wealth of knowledge, and we're so happy to be able to share a little bit with you. When we first started the face yoga method, it was only facial exercises, and we understood that our audience needed something more than just face yoga, right? So we've come into a space now where we are researching more and learning more about skincare, so that we can give this information to you and also construct a skincare line that would be, kind of above the rest. So this is something that is so important to us, and that's why we are also going to be including monthly skincare ladies' nights inside of the new Mastery membership. So inside of Mastery, you will see the combination of face yoga, skincare, and mindset all inside just one program. And I want to bring on Fumiko and a recorded video that she made explaining a little bit more about what you can expect inside of Mastery. So if you have any questions about Mastery, I know there's a lot of questions yesterday, just put them in the chat, and we will be back after 10 minutes with the next session with Maria and Janet. So I'm going to put on Fumiko's video talking about a little bit about Mastery. And let me know if you have any questions.
Welcome to the Mastery program. I am excited that you have joined the next generation of face yoga through this online program. Mastery allows you to dive deep into your face yoga practice with the quick video demos, which enables you to practice more in less time. This is our first ever program with a hands-on, customized, and live approach to your practice. Here's what you will find inside Mastery, the presets. These presets are routines that have been created for you. You can follow these routines that target different areas of the face. They are perfect if you want a quick, ready-made routine to get great results. The presets come in 2 difficulty levels. Starting out for beginners and Challenge Me for more advanced face yogis. When you begin this program, we recommend that you start with these presets to help you get an idea of how you can create your own routines. Build your own routine. This highly anticipated feature is going to help you take your practice to the next level as you can customize it. You can now create your own routine playlists. You can build up to 8 custom routines for yourself, choosing 5 poses from the first and unique biggest library of face yoga method poses. Live bi-weekly classes with our Mastery coaches. Face yogis have been looking for more live interaction, a way to keep momentum in their practice and a sense of community. With the Mastery Live subscription, you have a screen get-togethers. Mastery Live members can join one of our Mastery coaches live on Zoom, practicing face yoga with other face yogis twice a week with must-have tips, tricks, and techniques for your practice and a Q&A after each class. Live Mastery classes to help you master the art of face yoga, daily habits, creating routines, and the face yogi lifestyle. Mastery Live members can attend master classes with me. In these 1-hour workshops, we dive deep into a face yoga topic, helping you understand how to boost your daily practice for great results. Let's get started.
Our team is so excited to be sharing a little bit more about Mastery, our newest program, as the summit goes on. And we were so excited to share it during this summit that we are giving away summit bonuses. So if you join Mastery at all, if it's monthly, if it's lab, if it's live during this summit, you will get access to 2 extra full face toning presets. So as a reminder, with your Mastery membership, you will get access to already 6 face yoga presets for different parts of the face. You have them in 2 different levels. The first one is starting out, and the next one is Challenge Me for 3 areas of the face. And if you purchase your Mastery membership during this summit, you will also get access to 2 extra bonus full face toning presets. All of our presets are 7 days and are curated by Soraya, our Mastery program manager. So aside from that, I'm also hearing that a lot of people here are having issues accessing their VIP. So Angela, I can see here that you paid for VIP, but you haven't received confirmation. All of our systems are working right now, and my suggestion is to get in contact with our customer support. They should help you. Sometimes our emails end up in spam, sometimes in the promotion folder. So I know someone from our team can definitely help you with that. Now, our team is busy behind the scenes getting everyone's questions for the next skincare session. But before then, I'm going to take some time to go over some Mastery membership program questions. And it says, Sherry, when can we begin or start our presets with the Mastery class? So Sherry, once you sign up for the Mastery membership, you will get immediate access to 8 presets created for you by our Face Yoga Method team. You will also get access to the custom routine feature. So for example, you have already been practicing face yoga for a long time and you've just wanted a place where you can drag and drop your favorite yoga poses to create your own daily routine. That's what the create your own routine feature is for. So you get it immediately. So you sign up for Mastery and you'll get access to eight presets created by the Face Yoga team and the opportunity to create your own routine immediately. If you sign up for Mastery Live, which is the second tier of the program, you will also be able to access the live sessions with our coaches and with Fumiko. I will be going through the next live sessions we have coming up, so then you'll know if this works in your schedule and also what to expect from Mastery Live moving forward. But I know that the team has been working really, really hard to make sure that we are able to serve people from all around the world with all different time zones. And I already know that in the month of October and November, our Mastery Live group classes span all over 12 hours. So sometimes it might be in the early morning, early morning our time, which might be evening yours, or sometimes it might be evening our time. So then it will be morning your time. So I know that the team is working really hard to accommodate everyone's time zones. And we will be talking a little bit more in the next sessions about what to expect with Mastery Live in the classes. Sherry says, freckles from head to toe here too. I embrace mine. Oh my gosh. Raise your hands for Freckle, Team Freckle, like me. Okay, so we are going to get started soon with the next session with Maria and Janet back. They will be talking about our all the products that Janet has formulated for our skincare line, as well as all and everything of your Q&A. Janet is back. We're super excited for the next session, and our team is collecting your questions in the back end. So just let us know if you have any questions. Hi, Janet.
Hi.
We're just waiting here for Maria to come and join, but I'm just going to answer a couple of questions from the chat. So Tina asked about the Mastery program. What if I don't have or use credit cards nor PayPal? Is there any other way of paying? So Tina, if you just message our team like, hey, I need support here, they will be able to message you, or you can also email us at info@faceyogamethod.com, and I know that we can work something out. Okay. HT, will the Insiders Club, I'm currently in, still be accessible? So the Insiders Club is an old membership that will be replaced by Mastery. So HT, you will get emails about the Insiders Club membership and then moving you into Mastery. Hello again, Janet. Oh my gosh, we have like hundreds of questions, Janet. Are you ready?
Well, I'm ready. It's I think people want to make skincare hard, and it's very common sense, and it's actually easy.
Yeah, for sure. And how about different how about skincare for people with different like ethnicities? Does it, or is skin?
Oh, you know what? I'm really glad you touched on that, because a big myth. Hi, Maria.
Hi.
I'm touching back on a myth. The darker the skin, typically speaking, the more sensitive the skin.
Oh.
And that's a lot that people don't understand. The darker, the more sensitive. So the skin definitely has to be treated differently. So that's very important to know.
Yeah, Maria, yeah.
That's like the reverse of everything I've ever thought. So
that's typically what people think. It's absolutely not the case.
Is that because, so I have super fair skin, like, I don't know, like very fair. So this is the inside of my arm where the sun doesn't get. So that's the outside where the sun gets. So you're saying that people that have really dark skin, or say for an African-American person, their skin is more sensitive than mine?
Oh, a lot. Your skin is hard to mess up. Their skin's extremely easy to mess up and cause permanent damage.
Oh my gosh, that's like
it's so opposite of what people think.
Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with this discussion, with this cliffhanger, so you guys can get started with your session. But more to come. Take it away.
Okay. So one thing that I do, because people, I want to make sure that your people are using that cleanser correctly. So I just want to make sure they're not overusing it and they understand how it's used. Okay. So do 2-second demonstration. Okay.
This one?
So that cleanser of yours. So I'm not going to cleanse my face now, because that would take too long to do my whole face. But you want to make sure that the hands are really wet. I don't know if you can tell, but my hands are dripping wet. So we want your skin wet like that, your face and your hands. And you're going to take your cleanser. Can we see it? And it's just literally, I'll show you when I pull it out. It's this much for the whole face. Break it with some water gently. See how easy it suds? But it's gentle. Add a little more water if you want. And then you go in and you cleanse that face for 1 full minute. If it gets a little bit dry, add a little bit more water. But it's so important. They have got to cleanse their face correctly or nothing else is going to matter.
Okay. No, I love that you we started right on in with the cleanser, which I love. So the amount that you just showed me, because a lot of people ask us about this and I always say, just use a tiny, like pea size amount.
Yes.
And the amount that you just showed me is probably even, because this is such a high integrity product and it's so concentrated that you don't need a lot at all. You know, people are used to squirting out a lot more. And you just showed me less than I even use. And I love the way I knew I would learn something new, that you just did all that. I don't do all that myself. So,
and people don't. So it's really, really important that people do it right. And they don't waste product.
Exactly.
You don't need to waste it.
Yeah, no, you definitely don't want to waste it. Okay, so we start out, so we're starting out with what I'm going to do then for this session, because we've had so many questions from the last session, and I'm glad you got your camera a little more centered. Everyone writes in and they say, we want to see beautiful. Perfect. That's perfect. Because I know that people are on their mobile phones too. We're having a hard time and they're only seeing like a piece of your face. But there you are. So we'll, and I want to, Janet, you keep bringing up all these like little bombs that are so good. At the end of this session, because I know we're going to get a lot of questions on this, I want to just go back and touch a little bit more on that subject of darker skin. But first, what we'll do is we will go through the products, because I see you're ready with the toners. So we started with cleanser. These are all products that Janet formulates for us. The most important, starting with a good cleanser, having your skin super, super clean, the way Janet just showed us to wash your face. And before we move on to toner, Janet, I will say that you always say, do the test, right? Like wash half your face with this cleanser and then half your face try something else. You can compare it. And I've done that test many times. And that was part of the reason that I got sold on your skincare was the cleanser, because my skin is literally like squeaky clean, but I can feel it after I've cleansed it, but without a drying or stripping effect. So for those of you who want to try that at home, try half and half. And that is an effect that you will notice immediately. I know that I did. Okay. What's next after cleanser?
Then you're going to pat that face with a soft microfiber towel. Pat, no rubbing. Then you're going to take the toner and you're just going to spritz it. Just like that. And now I will tell you, people love this toner. And people actually, and I don't know yet if your people have tried this, but they actually will use it as a body spray and then put on their body lotion.
Oh, really?
Yes, people use this for a lot of different things. In the afternoon, if you just need a little pick-me-up to your makeup, want to refresh anything, just refresh. It just smells wonderful. It just makes the skin feel so good and brings it back to life. Refreshes. We probably refresh my makeup a little bit.
I love that. I did not know. Maybe some of our people do. I didn't know about using it on your body and then putting on body lotion. Does that help body lotion absorb better, or?
Yeah, people absolutely love it. It's just, I got taught that many years ago that people were doing that with our toner. They just use it all over, and that's absolutely fine.
I love that. Now, I know we touched on it in our last session, but let's just repeat again, because not everybody was in the last session, why it's so important to use toner.
We want it resets the pH to your skin, and it also has antibacterial properties to it. So it's really good for anybody that has any little infection or anything in their face, acne, anything like that. It's great for that.
Okay. And it makes everything you put on after more effective.
Absorb better.
All right. Mm-hmm. So that's the balancing spray toner. All right. Okay. And finally.
Then we're going to go to your vitamin C. Now, the vitamin C is a 20% vitamin C. So it does have a bite, and a stronger bite for other people, depending on the health of their skin. That's not great for acne. It's not great for rosacea, because that's infection in the skin. This product nourishes and feeds that skin and holds moisture. With bacteria, acne, rosacea, congestion, we don't want to feed that bacteria. We want to dry that out, pull it up, and flake it away. So they need to use this at their discretion. They also need to use this as discretion on their neck. It's just pretty strong for the neck, and they maybe use it once, twice a week and build up to it if they want. But it's just, a little bit of vitamin C, rub it all in, keep it on the outside of the orbital bone, and then make sure you feather it down your neck. So you don't want to have a line of demarcation.
I love it. And when is a lot of people want to know, is the best time to use vitamin C in the morning or the evening, or both, or does it matter?
Both. 2 times a day. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the morning, and then obviously put on sunscreen over it.
Yes.
And for those of you who are a little unsure about what sunscreen to be using right now, until we get ours, use a baby sunscreen, Janet says. A sunscreen that's in the drugstore or, the department store, and it's formulated for children.
Yes.
Would be their safest bet. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I want to go over, there were so many things that I want to clear up from the first session that we did. Okay, a lot of people wanted to know the allergen test name. So I looked it up on Amazon, because for those of you who weren't here, Janet was talking about there's a test that you can get. I think it's about $65, $66 on Amazon. And it's called the 5 strands test. And you pull out 5 pieces of your hair and send it in. And then they tell you what foods are super irritating or that you don't tolerate, and that can literally change your skin when you get these foods out of your system. Am I saying that correctly, Janet?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. So it's called the 5 strands nutrition test, and I'm going to put a link just that I found in Amazon, and I'm sure that I can have our team. I'm going to put it as a comment that I'm making, and I'm sure I can have our team put it up there later, because so many people asked about that. So that's just when I looked it up. Okay, let me see what else I have on my notes from earlier today. Okay, I knew we were going to get this. Okay, so we're going to repeat a little bit of information, but that's good. So Janet, feel free to go into depth on anything. We're still getting the question, are natural products as effective as other products? No.
Natural just doesn't, like I told you guys before, natural doesn't mean it's good for you. Poison ivy, poison oak, it's not good for you. Natural doesn't mean anything. You don't know the molecular weight. You don't know how it was sourced. You don't know what it's been, maybe they've taken some apple juice and mixed it with some wax. Well, that's not going to do any good. Do a test, prove it to yourself. You have to document these things yourself to know that you're being told the truth. And the only way to do that's on your own skin.
And so many people are writing. And so I know that our team's telling you this. When you write in questions specifically about a name brand skincare, we can't really address that. We're not going to name any names here. We're just going to talk about our skincare line, because Janet's not familiar with every ingredient that's in them, and we don't want to call anybody out. So we're not going to name anyone's. Okay, let me see what else I have on here. Oh gosh, everyone wants to know. They say, Janet, your skin looks amazing, beautiful. You're stern, but dropping those truth bombs, which I love. They're still asking about the vitamin C test. So do you want to do you want to explain the vitamin C test one more time while more
Sure.
questions?
Yeah, it's again, it's everything with skin. It's very simple. Just go get it, buy an apple. It doesn't matter what type of an apple, and cut it into slices or quarters, depending on, you know, how many. If you're going to cut it into 10 pieces, if you're going to try 10 vitamin C's, and then put each slice like on a piece of paper. At the time you started the test, cover it with each vitamin C. You know, take Face Yoga's vitamin C, put it on sheet number 1, put the date and time that you applied that vitamin C. Then do vitamin C number 2, piece of paper, time and date. And keep doing that because you want to start it all right at the same time. And when it starts to oxidize, write down the time that it starts to oxidize.
Okay. All right. So hopefully everybody got the vitamin C test, and you can also Google it and see how people put it on the apples. And so now I'm getting questions about big pores. What can you do for big pores?
Well, you want to use a good cleanser, and do not use mineral makeup. Do not be putting rocks and grinding them into your skin.
Okay.
And then as you expand your line expands, Maria will really be able to reduce the size of their pores. But that, along cleansing their skin correctly and eliminating rocks in their face, is going to start cleaning out those pores. That's where you're going to start.
Yes. And I love that you said as our line expands, just so everyone knows, you know, we just went over the 3 products that Janet formulates for us, and we're working on plenty more in the background. It just takes us time. Like, I test it on myself. Fumiko tests it. We want to make sure it's the right thing and something that we can bring to the public and sell over the internet, because there are some products, as I've come to learn with Janet, that I cannot do that with because they just need to be monitored too much. But we are working on some very exciting products behind the scene with Janet. Okay, so somebody wants to know, do you have to reapply moisturizer during the day when the skin feels dry and tight?
You would probably typically reapply a sunscreen, not a moisturizer. But if you're indoors, you could reapply a moisturizer or reapply some toner to bring it back to life.
Okay. Well, that brings up the question of her skin feeling dry and tight. If that's like a chronic thing, what might that be indicative of?
Her skin's probably asphyxiated, has probably a lot of buildup on it. So the moisturizer probably can't get in to do its job because it has a lot of product on that skin that needs to be removed. A lot of dead skin cells that need to be removed. So the products can't do its job because there's such a buildup. Yeah.
So it's like we talked about earlier. It's, you know, you can put on all the moisturizer you want, but it can't get through. It can't do anything. It's not going to make it better. So it sounds like maybe if that is the case, if that's chronically the case with her, that it could be a question of, do you have really clean skin that you keep going back
and properly exfoliated skin?
Yes. Okay, this one sounds kind of along the same lines. Brenda says, I live in a moist and cool climate, lots of wind too, and I always end up with chapped cheeks. Any help for that? I get a sort of calloused layer that cream cannot penetrate, yet I cannot exfoliate or use alcohol constantly as I am 66. What can I do?
Maria will be having some products that'll fix that for you.
So you're saying that's a product. Okay. Well, is there anything she can do? It sounds like definitely don't use the alcohol, but
yeah, we don't want to use alcohol. It just dries out the top layer of the skin and irritates it and cause redness. So cleanser, toner, vitamin C, and then a baby sunblock on top of that for now.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So some of you are asking, I put the link for the 5 strands. Will you be making an eye cream? Yes, we're working on it with her right now. Oxidized does mean, everyone wants to know or not everyone. Some people want to know we have people from all over the world. So oxidized means that it would turn brown, like the apple would turn brown. when, you know, how fast does it turn brown and how much can the vitamin C protect it? Let's see. I just have one vitamin C. All right, let's talk about, there are so many questions. I need to like edit them out a little bit. Can we go back to dark skin, Janet? Because we do have so many women of color that are in our community that listen to this. And what can you say about, because really that to me, I've never, ever heard that before. And that's super surprising to me. And I think that there needs to be more education around that and how they take care of their skin and how they protect it too. Because I think a lot of them might be under the perception that, oh, I don't have to protect it as much against the sun.
Well, they definitely do. They hyperpigment the same as everyone else, and their skin gets very blotchy. And when you go to, to start bringing up their pigment, you have to do it very slow, very gently, or they will hypopigment on you, which means leave white spots. So their skin has to be treated very, very carefully. And therefore, a lot of people, because it does take such education and it takes time, they don't have proper skincare. They don't know what to do themselves in a lot of cases.
No, I mean, I can see that because I've had a couple friends, or I have some with really dark skin, and they always kind of pride themselves on the fact that their skin's not getting fine lines, or that they don't have to use as much sunscreen or things like that. And it does seem to last like that, but you're saying there's a lot of damage going on underneath the surface.
Mm-hmm. A lot.
Okay. So for those of you with darker skin, something to be, I mean, I've always been super protective because I was told I had to be because my skin's so fair, but I was under the misconception about dark.
And their skin gets an ash look to it also. So not only hyperpigmentation and hypopigmentation, but they have to be really careful or their skin turns like their skin gets like an ash look to it. Looks real ashy. And it's because, again, not proper moisturizing, or not proper exfoliation. So they have to be very careful.
Okay. Okay. So now I'm getting questions on, can a woman shaved her face with a plain shaver to exfoliate the dead skin? What do you think of that practice?
Well, if they want to shave or dermaplane their skin, that is a huge myth that shaving the skin or dermaplaning the skin causes more hair. If that was the case, we'd have cured the baldness long ago. It does not. The only the only thing that changes the hair growth or the color or the coarseness is our hormones as we age. Our hair on our face, just because of the hormone changes in our body, the hair gets coarser, darker, thicker, and then eventually turns gray or white. We can't make more hair follicles than we have. We have what we have. So hair holds bacteria. So I'm a huge fan of dermaplaning. Tremendous, huge fan. Love dermaplaning. And not all states can dermaplane. So you can buy a dermaplaning kit for yourself, or you can shave your face. Hair holds bacteria. It's dirty. So I'm a fan of getting rid of it. Okay.
So dermaplaning, for those of you that don't know, it's like shaving your face, but it's with a slightly different tool, right? Than like
typically it's done with a scalpel. So it's much sharper. And the purpose of dermaplaning actually is to remove the dead skin cells, and the hair is just a benefit.
But you're saying the hair holds dirt. So why not get rid of that too?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to do that, then you're recommending buy a dermaplane kit as opposed to just pulling out the razor that you use for your legs.
Yeah, because you're going to get a little bit more, you're going to get dead skin with it. And that's a great way to exfoliate and force those cells to turn over.
Okay. Just be careful when you're doing it.
Yes.
It's going to be a sharper blade. Yeah. And that helps with the exfoliation, I'm assuming, as well.
Yeah, no trauma to the skin. It's a fantastic way to exfoliate the skin.
Okay.
And it's just amazing what comes off of the skin.
No, I love that. I didn't know you could buy like an at-home kit too. I might have to look into that.
You can.
Go on.
I was going to, it's having proper dermaplaning done with a scalpel is far superior. I don't want any fallacies about that because it's so much sharper, but they do have to have a license to do that type of dermaplaning.
And what area of the face do they do dermaplaning on? Is it just this area?
Well, I would hope they would be smart enough to include the neck.
Oh,
the neck flare up to your all over everywhere.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. I haven't had it. I mean, I
You have a
just
lot
have
of hair, a lot of dead skin here. Our neck ages terribly, so we want to dermaplane the neck from here up.
Here. I love that. Okay. Let's talk about pigmentation, because that is such a big thing, especially as we age. And I know I have it, and we've talked about hyperpigmentation, and you described to me that there's really only one way to get rid of it, and how it has to come up and out of the skin. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we want to draw the pigment up. A lot of people think, and that's why like microdermabrasion and the scrubs and everything, they don't work. Laser works temporarily. It causes a lot of harm. It's heat, causes tremendous trauma to that skin. But the only way to get rid of that pigment is you have to pull it up and out and flake it away. We just can't magically make it go away.
Yeah. And I like that you said it has to come up from within, because it's underneath your skin. It's not something you can just like scrub right off.
No, it's down deep in that skin, and you have to pull it up and out.
Okay. There's somebody here, African American. I knew that. Oh, good, Carla. So she says, thank you, Janet, for touching on that skin. Oh gosh, Debbie says, I have a lot of problems with white bumps that are like those hard little zits. I have so many products because I don't know what I'm doing, but I keep trying. Any recommendation you have for like those hard little white bumps?
Have her check her makeup, because again, a lot of times the body will encapsulate those little rocks in the skin, that mica and the quartz. The body will encapsulate it, and it turns hard because the body's trying to push it out, and then you keep grinding it in, and the body's pushing it out. You're grinding it in.
Okay,
check the makeup.
That's good. Okay, and then Sophie says, so what do you do when you have dark skin? Is there any kind of treatment? I mean, you were talking about some of the that might be a much bigger question, but any advice you can give there?
Well, right now we're limited because we're just getting your line going. So you'll be able to still have to stay tuned and watch what you're coming out with, because you will absolutely be able to treat their skin safely and effectively.
Okay. Gretchen, some baby sunblock has minerals in it. Is that a problem since it's on top of the skincare?
No. So there's that exception. The minerals that are in the sunblock, they're designed to lay on top of the surface to protect their skin. They're not going down into your skin to be like a spackling for the skin. They're designed to lay on the surface and not penetrate down in and clog your pores. They're typically a large molecular weight. And this is a case where we do want a large molecular weight.
For the sunblock. Okay.
For the sunblock. Mm-hmm.
Baby sunblock. Okay. So now so now I'm getting what kind of makeup questions. We know you don't like mineral makeup, so no mineral makeup. But she wants to know specifically what kind of foundation. And is there anything they should be looking for? As long as it's not mineral, they're good? Or what would you say?
Just look at the ingredient deck. You'll recognize what is a rock and what is not. You're looking for rocks.
Recognize what's a rock. Okay, so the baby sunblock. Oh my gosh, so many. Okay, so Michaela wanted to know how you felt about microdermabrasion, which clearly you're
against it. It's obsolete, thing of the past. No.
Yes. What about face oils?
An oil is going to be typical. Now, again, this is typically because I can't single out specific oils, but if you're just taking a large essential oil, it's going to lay on top of the surface.
Okay, so it's not going to be effective. If it's just a large. Okay.
And I'm typically speaking, I don't know what exact oil. There's always exceptions, but generally speaking.
Okay. Now we're getting so many questions. I knew this would happen about because we talked about pigmentation, about how do you pull it up and out of the skin? I know that that's a product-based thing, but can you talk about like what that process is? Because you educated me on that, and it's a lot more involved than I would have thought.
Mm-hmm. So we have to, of course, make sure that phase one, so to speak, of the cleaning out phase, that your face is nice, clean, and then we'll start working on the pigment. And we have products designed that actually will pull that pigment up and out of there. I don't think Maria probably wants me to go into what is in the works for you. That's probably another segment, and that would take hours. And I don't think we should go there. But Maria's going to have a product for you that's going to pull that pigment up.
Yes. And for I mean, it is involved. Like I said, it's more involved than I thought or that I realized. And so I've been in the process working with Janet just for myself to really clean out my face before I'm even ready to do this depigmentation thing. But stay tuned. We can't go into too many details right now, and we will definitely talk about it. But in the meanwhile, know that like these kind of eraser products that you can buy on the market are going to be ineffective and not help. Is that correct, Janet? Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. I'm not aware of any that you can just buy over the counter that would work.
Yeah, there's so much out on the market. It's like this will clear up your pigmentation. This will get rid of sunspots. This will be, you just put this little oil on it or this little serum or whatever. So you're saying, yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to pull it up and out. So if you're using those right now, no need to continue using those or to continue investing in those. Yeah.
There has to, when we're doing it, because everybody's skin is going to be treated different. Like what you can handle to pull your pigment up, Maria, is not going to be the same as a Darts Fitzpatrick. It's all about customization for that individual. We can't throw everybody into a basket and say, oh, this is what we're going to do for you. It has to be done for the individual, how fast they want to go pulling that up or how slow they need to go because of their career or a function they might have. So it's a lot of education, a lot of one-on-one skin coaching to get through that process.
Yeah. And I know that's not the magic bullet answer that a lot of people want to hear, but it's the truth. So, we could sit here and tell you there's some magic serum, but there's not. And it definitely, as I go through testing products with Janet, it has been a process because we talk all the time and I have to send her pictures of my skin, and some of the products are affecting my skin. At first it was freaking me out. Janet can tell you, and I'd call him back, Janet, my skin's going to fall off. But it's like, it's having that person to guide you through it. So once we get that process down and we know that there's something that we can more safely sell directly to you, that's formulated correctly, we'll have all of that. But in the meanwhile, I don't know. I can't give you a magic bullet for hyperpigmentation, because I would have taken it myself if I had it. Okay. I don't know what this is. Any known, maybe you do. I don't know. Vitiligo, Viteligo. Do you know what that is?
Yes. No, it's permanent.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because they said, is there any known cure for it?
No.
Okay. Okay. Back to white bumps. My husband has a lot of them and he doesn't use makeup. Is there anything else besides makeup that might be contributing to that?
Not proper cleansing, maybe works out, maybe he's working outside, dirt, debris, not proper exfoliation, so that the skin is being asphyxiated, it's being suffocated, can't breathe. So the congestion just builds up.
Okay, now I'm getting feedback that they want us to go back. I know people are coming in at all different times during this presentation. So this one's really about our products. So let's go back. Oh, here comes Camille. Let's go back. Camille, are you coming in to talk about our products?
Yes.
Yes. You want us to go back. Okay, so we're going to, I know it's going to be even deeper education. So we're going to go back to the cream cleanser. And Janet, can you tell us what's in this that makes it different from other cleansers? Like why it does such a better job?
It's about it's real short, sweet, and to the point. It's about the integrity of each product that's in that. We buy the highest efficacy of the products. And that's what makes the difference, not using cheap ingredients.
Okay.
That's what makes the difference is the efficacy of that product.
I think people, I mean, I'm back here looking at everyone's questions, Janet, and they're just wondering, like, what is it? Is it a specific ingredient that we include inside of the cleanser? Is it the combination of ingredients? Like, what makes it different from, you know, your regular thing that you can get in the drugstore?
It's the way another big, we make this in small batches. We don't make this by the millions. This is made in small batches. So that helps tremendously that it's made in small quantities, not in great big vats by the millions. So that and the quality of the ingredients that we use is the difference. It's the efficacy of the product that are used in there.
And
there's no magic. There's not a magic. There's no magic to it. It's just the quality.
And I know this particular product has some oil. Tell us about what the oil does with the skin.
And I don't like getting into too much detail. I'm a little bit protective of certain things. So it's the way we extract essential fatty acids, like out of coconut. So it's not coconut oil, but the way we extract it. So I am extremely protective about going into this territory. I don't like going too much into the detail of how I do things, because I do things different. And that we keep pretty top secret. So that's just, the bottom line is it's the efficacy of the ingredients that we use. And it's not just like, if they'll see on the back, they'll see some essential fatty acids. Well, it's the way those fatty acids are extracted and combined together that makes the difference. That will clean that skin and not leave it stripped. Leave it squeaky clean, but not stripped.
And that's what most of the cleansers do. In cleansers you can get from the drugstore, they like strip away the oils and then leave it.
Yeah. Right. And we like what to happens use some oil in there.
And like, what happens when your cleanser strips your skin on the contrast?
It feels dry, cracky, irritated, red, chapped. It's very uncomfortable.
And that's when you usually want to start throwing on some moisturizer. That's not really going to fix it. It becomes like that cycle. And Janet gave the perfect description. It's like it's squeaky clean when you use it, and then it's not stripped. It's not stripped. I love the feeling after. And especially, I've really started paying attention to washing my face for a minute now, which at first it's kind of hard. It's like the electronic toothbrush that's 2.5 minutes. And then you feel like you're on there forever. Like I'm wandering around making coffee or watering plants while I'm brushing my teeth, because 2.5 minutes is a long time. And it's the same with washing for a minute. But what's the point in washing at all if you're not going to have that really clean foundation to make everything else work? And it seems like not having clean skin is the root of the problem for many skincare issues, is what you're saying.
Right. And one thing I'd like to touch on that cleanser, even though it's a cream cleanser, it can be used on acne skin, oily skin, dry, extremely sensitive skin. When we tested and we made that cleanser about 17 years ago, I made that cleanser. We tested it on women in their 70s and that had never been able to use anything but a white washcloth and water on their face their whole life. They were allergic to everything. So we started them off on that cleanser, and then we were able to add the toner. Then we were able to add more and more. So they can do a whole line of product now. Even now they're, some of them they're in their late 80s, pushing 90. and their skin looks great for, for their age, and they're able to finally use something after so many years of nothing. So that's the difference, is when you use good, high quality ingredients. Everybody, no matter how sensitive their skin is, they can use that cleanser. And no matter how oily and dirty their skin is, they can use that cleanser.
We have a question here from the audience. Chandel asked, can this cleanser be used by women of color?
Yes, absolutely.
Woo! Chandel, we got you.
Yes. Yes.
And Sasha says, if I could only buy one product from the skincare line, what should I buy? And I'm going to say it's the cleanser, right? Because you have to start. Yes. You have to start with this clean skin.
Yep. You have to start with a clean foundation.
Yes. All right. What else are you getting coming in, Camille? I'm looking. How long is the cleansing and cleaning process? 1 minute, Rosalie. You got to do skin on skin like this for 1 minute. Wash first, rub it up in your hand, and then 1 minute your entire face.
I see a lot of questions on vitamin C. So what is the difference between the percentages of vitamin C? Why did we decide to have ours at 20%? Like what does that do?
Okay. So the reason that we use a 20% vitamin C is I'm not a fan of having a 5%, a 10%, a 15%. You might as well go right for the big one. You might as well have a 20%. If it's too strong for you, we'll use less. And then let your skin get healthy and add a little bit more in, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. I do not believe in having 4 or 5 different vitamin C's on my counter. One good one.
Okay.
And also for people, like I only heard of vitamin C when we were starting to, decide that we wanted to add this to our line. What does vitamin C do? What's like the biggest goal of vitamin C?
It protects the skin. So like if you go think about the apple analogy, so it's going to, and we have a product in that vitamin C. You're using a 20% vitamin C, but then we have a product in there that's called liquid silk. And that also puts a netting on the skin and holds in the moisture, and it makes it feel very silky. But the vitamin C, as well as an antioxidant, we want to stimulate the collagen production as well. Vitamin C is extremely important.
Yes, it is. And put on the toner before you put on the vitamin C, because you want to pH balance your skin so that the vitamin C can have its maximum effectiveness.
Yes, and it'll make it really brightens the skin, gives it some nice brightness.
I know. I mean, since I started using vitamin C, everyone around me has been noticing. They're just like, "What is happening?" I got some glow on already just from using
that vitamin C.
So just so we understand, the cadence is first we're cleansing, and then we're putting the toner, and then we're putting the vitamin C, and then anything. Correct. Yeah. And technically the vitamin C, since would you need moisturizer after putting the vitamin C? Or is it, since it locks in that moisture, would you have to add in something like this?
You're going to want to put a sunblock on top of that. And at night I would put on a night cream, or I put on something on top of it so you don't get too dry, especially like, if you're in a really dry climate, if you're in Arizona or Nevada, you just get so dry that it's not quite enough. And some people it's going to be plenty. It's case by case. Again, you can't put everybody in one basket.
Oh my gosh, so many questions. Maria, do you see this? So many questions coming from vitamin C. So can you use vitamin C while you're in the sun? So you can, but you put sunblock first on. You put sunblock on top of your vitamin C.
Right. And of course, we do not want we want hat, sunglasses, and sit under an umbrella. No sun on our face.
And how often should we use the vitamin C?
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Okay. So many questions. We're getting questions about derma rolling. Yes, she does microneedling. Yes, Janet definitely recommends it done properly. And we have videos on that on our blog and on our shop on how to do that. So you can follow it there. And ours is also we got a specific measurement for our microneedle. They're not too long, they're not too sharp, but they're blunt enough to have an effect. So you can find all that information.
Yeah, you just want to make sure it's
Um,
not tearing the skin. So if they would happen to get dull, get a new one. It needs to be very straight in, straight out, clean, no tearing.
That's exactly what our team is, trying to drive home. A lot of people are asking if we should change the needles, change the heads, and we're like, yes, if you feel like it's dulling, please change the
Yes,
heads,
get rid of
or
it.
else you're doing more damage than good, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then we have a question: can they use vitamin C concentrate for hyperpigmentation?
They can. It's not going to. The difference would be so minute that I would not want to use that as a claimer that it's going to change your hyperpigmentation. I would not do that.
yeah. Okay, someone wanted, for those of you who missed the first sessions, they wanted to know a little bit about your background, Janet. And so Janet, she's a licensed esthetician specializing in corrective skincare, and she has been trained by world-renowned medical doctors in the industry and works with a team of MDs, chemical engineers, and pharmacists on a daily basis. And how long have you been in the industry, Janet?
I've been doing corrective skincare for over 30 years, but I've been in the industry for 40.
Yeah, so that's a lot of experience. So that is her. A lot of what?
Faces.
A lot of faces, yeah. A lot of faces, a lot of learning for different skin types. Okay, let's see. So I see a lot of questions about, like I said, specific products or product lines, which we really can't answer without Janet. She'd have to read the whole ingredients lists and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to answer those specific questions. Is there expiration of it? Yeah, on our products we have, Janet, can you talk about how long they typically last? And we do have expiration dates on them.
There's a 2-year expiration date on the products.
Yes.
And if you don't go through that 2 years, then you're not using it.
Yeah. Yes, they're designed to be used. Yes. Yeah, spot treatments, Celeste, we already talked about. That does not work for getting rid of spots, like a little treatment. And no, we had a different creator for the collagen super powder. Janet is more, she's the skincare person, not the drinkable collagen. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Janet, they're saying, oh my gosh, you can't have worked for that long. You look so young. Janet looks like she's in her 30s. Janet, everyone is freaking out in the chat bar.
They're very kind. Well, I practice what I preach.
Exactly. It's a testament to her skincare routine. Oh my gosh, so many questions. What else do you see, Camille, that we haven't addressed yet?
So they're asking, would you recommend, is there a difference between vitamin C cream and vitamin C serum? People are confused with what's available on the market. I know ours is a cream.
There's all kinds of, there's vitamin C oils. There's many different kinds. Just get back to that basic test. Test it on the app.
Right. So it doesn't matter like what kind of, I guess, I don't even know how to say this. I'm not an esthetician. What kind of format it comes in, as long as it's effective.
As long if it's effective, if it's in a huge molecular weight and it's not doing its job, it's a waste of money.
And that's why our products work so well together, right? Because they all
test.
So somebody in vitamin C, she says, since the darker skin is more sensitive, what advice would you give for the darker skin in relation to vitamin C?
You know, if you can use a full pump of it morning and night, great. If you need to, use a half a pump morning and night, fine. If you have to build up to that, another little trick, if it's too tingly or too stingy, use more toner and get that vitamin C on when the skin's a little bit damp from the toner. It'll cut the bite.
Yeah. And it does that first time you use it, because it's so concentrated, it does have a little bit of that bite, that little sting, which for me just says that it's there. It's really there, the vitamin C in the product. Yes, Sherry says, gosh, Janet, you look amazing, healthy beauty. And that's what Janet says. Every time we talk about skincare, she's like, Maria, it's just about having healthy skin. It's just about having healthy skin.
That's all it is.
So,
And it's
for
simplistic.
sure.
It's not difficult.
And it's good. I think that that's really empowering to hear, for a lot of our audience who are, new to the skincare journey, that it's something that, like you said, it's simple. These are like these are the simple rules you can follow, right? And it empowers them to be able to achieve like the skincare that they deserve almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Changes
Yeah.
your life. I know, because my skin, you can't imagine the hyperpigmentation I would have and the cystic acne that I would have if I didn't do exactly as I say.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that so many people want to hear, that quick answer, and we're not going to be able to give them the magic bullet of this is how you get rid of spots on your skin. And that's just the truth of it. But at least until we can get something out to you that can help with that, at least, don't spend your money on that thing in the drugstore that says it's going to erase your spots.
Yeah. Or on TV.
Yeah. TV is very good about that, about selling it.
Perfect. Well, everyone is already sending so much love, so much information shared here today, and they love being able to ask you questions directly. Janet and Maria, they really enjoyed this session. And just know that if you have any more questions that we didn't answer, you can always write in the chat or email us at info@faceyogamethod.com, or just say something on the Face Yoga Method group that we have on Facebook, and someone from our team, our skin experts, will come through and be able to share some of that knowledge. Thank you so much, Maria and Janet. Everyone really, really loved this session and can't wait to hear about it more.
All right. Thank you, Janet, for joining us. I know this is outside of your normal wheelhouse, and we really appreciate it, you being able to educate our audience, because it makes a big difference coming from you as opposed to from us. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Okay. Take care. Everybody. All right, everyone. So we have our next sessions coming up. We're going to continue on the skincare train. And we're going to have Tina up with a special guest from our team to go over a live demonstration on how to combine skincare. But first and foremost, we need to do the same tech reset that we did yesterday. So I know there were a lot of questions on what happened. Basically, the software that we are using to give this summit, to bring this summit to you, requires us to just reset this link. What that means is that I'm going to shut off I'm going to shut the call off just for 30 seconds, and you should be able to and I will come back with a break video right afterwards. So if you are not able, a lot of people yesterday were confused, had questions, weren't able to reconnect. If you aren't able to reconnect, and if you don't see or hear anything after 30 seconds after I shut down this call, please we got three things. The first thing is hit reconnect, right? There's a button up here in the chat bar that says reconnect. You need to hit that reconnect. Second thing you can do if that's not working is just refresh your page or go back to the email of today's summit and click the link again, because the link is always going to be the same for every day of the summit. So you can do that. And if that doesn't work, our team will be here inside of the chat to give you another link to join. But basically, we need to do this on a daily basis. The next session will start in 10 minutes. I'm going to shut off this call now and just stay on here. Stay on here. You should hear back. You should hear me back or a video back after 30 seconds max. And really, if you can't access the content again, like I said, three things. The first thing is to hit reconnect, hit refresh, or go back to the link on your email. Or third is to just write in the chat, and our team has put in a link that you'll be able to rejoin this call. So we'll see you in 30 seconds. Thank you so much for your patience, and we'll see you soon.